Hey everyone, Lynn Hero here, one half of the Asti Sisters duo. Today we're going to be doing a live demonstration of our UR device, which is a combination of microneedling and radio frequency. We have a complete video on the setup and kind of the technical aspect of the device itself, but we're going to go ahead and do our demonstration. So the device is already set up and we're looking at our nice screen here. The screen can pivot, so we can face it towards ourselves, whatever makes the most sense for you. You can turn it. I'm going to go ahead and just angle it a little bit this way, just so you guys can see a little bit better. Okay, we have a 25% lidocaine on our model under saran wrap. We're at about 30 minutes right now. We're going to be doing a full face, neck, and décolleté area. And I'm going to start with the forehead, work my way down. What we're going to do is keep the numbing creep on as long as possible. So I'm simply going to start folding back the saran wrap. It decreases the numbing time by about 50%, which is really great to use saran wrap. Not needed, but does help. So we're going to go ahead and fold this down just to start working on the forehead area. And I'm going to remove first with just a little wipe, and then we're going to do an alcohol wipe to cleanse and resanitize the area. So she should be pretty numbed. Your client should be pretty numbed at this point. And then we are going to go ahead and use the HOP Paleo Growth Factor Polylactic Acid Ampule. That's one of my favorites. If you wanted to, in addition to creating collagen, if you wanted to go ahead and add a boost of fat, meaning you have a lot of fat loss with the client's skin, you can use the Dr. Booster from Dr. Esti, and you can also combine those two for a great combination. For the full face, we're looking at using a full ampule, face and neck, and then I'll be using probably another ampule or half an ampule for the décolleté area as well. Okay, so I'm just using some alcohol wipes here. Quick swab that down. And again, you want to just treat one area at a time because it allows the numbing cream to still keep working on the rest of the face. This is a little more intense treatment than regular microneedling due to the radio frequency part of it. So this is our new head added on. So we have the new cartridge. It's going to be a single-use cartridge, up to 3 treatments. So for purposes today of our demo, doing the face, the neck, and the décolleté, I'm still able to use 1 cartridge. So once we attached it, it has a little tube because this device is very unique in that it also has vacuum suction as a part of the radio frequency microneedling, so that the even stamps are going to occur. And we really don't have to do much other than simply moving from place to place. Then we punch and create the injection in terms of the stamping. Okay, so right now what I'm going to do is we are going to be starting on the forehead. So we have forehead here at the top. And then we have, it says the radio frequency level. We're going to start with the radio frequency level of 2. That's what's suggested for the forehead. And I'm going to actually take it a little bit down in terms of emission time to about a 100. So I'm going to go down here. It's actually a touch screen as well. So you can use the shift here. And so I'm going to go down to 100 there. And then in terms of interval, I like to individually stamp as I go. So you can either have it time and then stamp at 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, but I like to do my own, go at my own pace. So I set it to 0 seconds. I'm doing a vacuum level of normal, and we have a total shots 1100 that it says. So that's going to be more than enough for this head and for the areas that we're looking at doing. So she's completely numbed. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the stamping process. I will let you know that what you're going to do is you are going to, it's all lit up in red. So we know the system is activated. And when you push on this little button here, this is what's going to actually cause the stamping to occur. And we're going to cross over and overlap about 50%. So you want to check in with your client. Are you feeling that?
Yep.
Okay. Feeling okay?
Yes.
Okay. Again, we're doing an overlap of about 50%, just because I'm going to show you guys The square that's actually the stamping part is smaller by about 50% than the outlying head itself. So that's why you want to overlap about 50%. So you're not, you're really connecting those stamps. Now I did numb underneath her brow, so I'm going to go ahead and do just a little underneath the brow here. So I'm going to go ahead and I am going to open my growth factor ampule, and I'm going to add a little bit to the area after we've cleansed with alcohol, little to the area. Now you can do it right after you've done the micro stamping, the micro needling, or you can do it a little before and then after. So in this patch, I just added a little after. And now for the rest of my forehead, I'm actually going to just do a little bit beforehand, and then I'm going to add a little bit after as well. So we're going to turn the vise. You push one button just to activate again, turn it on, and then we're going to continue with our stamping. And you want to wait until you hear the stamp is complete, the vacuuming is complete. So you'll hear this, you'll hear the button, and you'll hear, and then you know it's done. And then you can move on to your next spot. We're at a 0.5 needle depth here. She's still getting a little bit of erythema. The forehead tends to be a little bit more sensitive area. So when you get to the other parts of the face, you can definitely increase it to a 0.75 or a 1. If you really want to go deeper, the device does go up to a 3.0 needle depth. But for stimulating collagen production, anywhere between a 0.5 and a 1 is plenty for collagen stimulation. For people wanting to work on scarring, that's usually where you're going with a little deeper needle depth. There is in the manual and on the website, is a suggested table for the needle depth and the radio frequency level and intensity and vacuum level to use per area of the face. But always check in with your client. If the client's more sensitive, you can definitely do less. I would say less is more. So if you take a look at the skin and you notice there's a little bit of area that is missing, because you can see that the skin gets a little erythema where you've been. So you can definitely go, oh, hey, I may have missed a little pass, and it's totally okay. I'm just going to like fill in a spot here. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead, set this down. After about a minute or so, it will turn itself off until you're ready to turn it on and engage it again. So I'm just going to again add a little bit more of my growth factors, my polylactic acid for building collagen. And now we're going to continue on and we go down to the cheek area. So I'm going to use my 4x4s and again, remove product. This is just the numbing cream. So microneedling and radio frequency work really, really well to stimulate collagen production and also to break up scarring. Some people use it for hyperpigmentation. Again, it's really stimulating new cell growth. So by creating that trauma or that damage to the skin and down at the dermal layer, it's helping to stimulate new cells and new collagen to be produced. So just make sure you're thorough in getting the numbing cream removed. Okay, and then we're going to go and use another alcohol wipe. And this is just basically helping to make sure you've sanitized the area to prevent any infection. Just helps to dry out the skin really nicely as well. Just good preparation for any kind of microneedling. So we are then going to make an adjustment to the screen because we're working on the cheek area. And then when we get to the eye area, we'll also make another little adjustment as well, because that area will be sensitive too. So I'm going to go ahead right now and we're going to touch back up here where it said forehead. And actually, I'm going to just go down to cheeks and then we'll kind of finish with the eye area. There's cheek. And so we're going to be doing a 0.9 needle depth at the top here. I'm just going along with the suggested amount that they're suggesting needle depth. We're at a level 3 for needle depth for intensity for radio frequency. And then the emission time for 150. We are at 0 interval. That's just my preference to go at my own pace, normal vacuum level. And we'll start here. If the client is feeling a lot of sensitivity, and it feels kind of warm for her, we can definitely lower the level of radio frequency down to maybe a level 2. And we can also change the emission time as well and lower that. So turning the device on again, and we will continue. So if you have an issue where you didn't put enough numbing cream on a particular area or enough of it, it'll feel more sensitive. So you can either lower for that particular area. Okay, we're now going to go to the nose area. So I'm actually going to lower the needle depth to about a 0.7. And we're going to keep it at this level here. So we're going to turn it on and gauge again. When you're doing the nose, you're going to want to flatten the nose out, get a flat surface. Okay, and now I'm going to go back up to the other cheek. I'm going to go ahead and add some of those stem cells, growth factors here. Okay, so we've completed the cheeks. And now we're going to go ahead and start working on the eye area. And we're going to go pretty low. We're going to do about a 0.5 there. So we're going to go to the cheek where it says cheeks. It says eyes. We're going to work down to a low temperature. So it's actually emission time is 50. And then we're going to do a 3 level. And we're going to do a 0.5 needle depth there around the eye area. So you kind of pull the orbital area down, the skin over the orbital area there, just to get below. I want to get the lower eye area, but just not be right up by the eye. So now we're going to, again, finish up with a little more of our stem cells. This area. Okay. And we're going to continue down, chin and the neck area. So microneedling, the same contraindications for most invasive treatments. I wouldn't do radiofrequency microneedling with anybody with melasma because it's inducing heat. Somebody obviously with rosacea, any active, very inflamed skin, heat and deep microneedling would not be indicated for that. So again, anytime you're adding a modality with just a severe needle depth or deep needle depth and then adding heat to it, you're just going to follow your usual contraindications for heat and more invasive treatments, just like if you were doing a stronger chemical peel, so higher Fitzpatrick's, things like that. Other thing is also definitely make sure you're looking at the scope of practice for your state to see if you can do microneedling and or radiofrequency. So we are now going to go to the neck area, and it's going to suggest a 1 needle depth, 100 emission time, level 3. Again, I have it at normal vacuum and 0 interval. So we're going to start with this. I'm going to put just a little bit of our growth factors here. So you can find a pattern that works for you, just so you remember. Going down the neck, I'm just going to choose to go down, but you can go across, you can go down, whatever works for you. And remember just to overlap at about the 50% mark. Okay, and this is still a 1.0 needle depth and a level 100 for the radio frequency. So client's doing well. So again, always check in, and you can kind of work your way up as well. In terms of a series, you would definitely do these a month apart, not less than that. And good home care is going to be good hyaluronic acid or your moisture repair cream from HOP. Something with just a lot of good soothing, adding a lot of nutrients and moisture back into the skin, and a daily minimum SPF is a must. And I'm going to stand up here just to get a better view. I'm going to work now right under her lip as well, or just on the chin area. You don't want to microneedle right over the lips, just right under the lips. That's fine. I'm going to finish up with the neck, and then I'm also going to swing by and come back and do her upper lip in a second. I'm going to now go lighter. We're going to go back to I'm going to do kind of what I would do on the eye area, but on the upper lip. So we're going to do eye area. So it's really low. And I'm going to do a 0.5 needle depth and just go a little bit on her upper lip here. And we're going to add more of the growth factors. And you will see some erythema. In addition to the redness, you will see some erythema, which is some swelling, and totally expected. What we're going to be doing at the end of this treatment, you can definitely use your cryo, which is the iCool Plus system, but I'm going to actually have her go under the oxygen dome. We've done that before and it works wonderful. And that's the O2 Derm oxygen dome for just to speed up that tissue rejuvenation and healing. It feels really great for irritated skin. So we're now going to go ahead and remove the rest of the numbing cream. Now we're going to finish up with the décolleté area. I've already removed the numbing cream. We have wiped her down with alcohol wipe, and we are now adding some more of our paleo growth factors, which is our HOP paleo growth factor PLOA ampule. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of do more of the forehead area, assuming that it's forehead, a little bit more sensitive. So it's going to be a level of 100. Level 2, 100 emission time, normal, and we are going to start. And again, as always, check in with the client after you've done 1 or 2 passes just to see how the client's doing. And I'm going to start here. Good. I'm at 0.5. Do you want me to go a little deeper? Mm-hmm. We're going to go a little bit deeper since she's doing fine. We will try to do a level 1. Feel good? So we're at a 1 needle depth here. And again, some people have a little bit extra meat or tissue up here. Some people are a little bit bonier and thinner skin. So you definitely want to start lower and then work your way up. And then just be patient to wait till the suctioning is done. That's the emission time. The more intense the emission time, or the longer the emission time, the longer that radio frequency is going to be in there. So it's going to heat it up a lot more. And then the same thing with the intensity of the radio frequency. So if you go up in levels, it's going to make the heat increase too. So just to keep that in mind. So I usually try to work off of the suggested protocols and then just modify it a little bit as the client needs. But that's a good point of reference. I do one pass because I'm overlapping at that 50%. If you have a particular area that doesn't look and you're going a little bit milder in terms of your needle depth and the radio frequency, you could go over and do a couple extra passes if you want. But for most of my clients, it's sufficient to do one pass. And then the client needs to cool down afterwards, again, using the cryo beauty globes, the oxygen treatment is going to be really, really beneficial for them. They're going to feel that that's going to really feel much more calming and soothing and feel comfortable for them. We'll do a demonstration of the O2 machine with this post-treatment as well. You can do legs, you can do arms, you can do various parts of the body as well. Works on stretch marks. You can be using the radio frequency microneedling on cellulite areas. So just where scars are in other places of the body. So the radio frequency also helps with the skin tightening, which is an extra benefit to the microneedling itself. This will help with some sun damage as well. I'm just trying to stimulate some of that collagen production here, especially if someone has a lot of sun damage. Big no-no with radio frequency or with microneedling actually is vitamin C. So you can pretty much use other hyaluronic acid, growth factor ampules. You want to avoid vitamin C as it can contribute to scarring. So we want to avoid that. That is capable. You can use that with nano, just not with microneedling. I'm going to try to go here just a little bit lighter. Put on the neck here. So then I always finish up with any area that is missed. So right now I'm working on the area between the neck and the décolleté here. I'm going to go and finish up with the ampoule. Okay, so this is what it looks like, the final effect there. So still a little bit raised spots, and you see all the patterning, just the stamping. We're going to go ahead and activate and start using our O2 Derm Oxygen Dome. Right now we have the oxygen dome on with our O2 Derm oxygen machine. We have the anion therapy. We're set to the level 1, which gives us maximum oxygen. We're at 90% oxygen, and we're going to do a minimum of a 20-minute treatment. And then we'll come back and show you what she looks like after the 20 minutes. Hey, we did the oxygen treatment on her just with the O2 Derm Dome, and we were able to cover at least past her neck. And I'm not sure if you guys could see, but there is way less erythema, way less stamping. So the skin calmed down significantly. Do you feel any improvement in terms of tightness, warmth?
I feel much calmer. Yeah.
The skin feels less
warm,
active, less warm. So go ahead and use your cryotherapy afterwards, or you can go ahead and use your oxygen treatment with the O2 Derm. If it's daytime, go ahead and add some mineral HOP sunscreen and you're good to go. And then the clients are going to start their home care, which again is going to be the HOP promoter repair cream. You can use any of the other ampules. You can actually send them home with a paleo growth factor ampule. And you can use even the skin rejuvenating ampule by Dr. Esty. So you have lots of different options, but it's going to be all about healing, reducing inflammation. So any of the products really with the Centella asiatica extract is going to be awesome.